Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Onte, and welcome to the Alpha Talk podcast. As you may know, as you can see, your boy has a new camera, and if you are in the live right now or if you watching on YouTube, man, just let me know how it looks because honestly, I feel like this thing is pretty good quality, and I think it's gonna do it pretty well. But we got the headset on today. I'm just trying out some new things for the podcast, man. I'm just trying to like fix everything up and see how it is. But welcome to the podcast. We are on episode 49. Yes, we're on episode 49. We're almost an episode away from being on 50. And honestly, it's pretty crazy to even think about, especially like being in the year of 2022. And I don't know, I'm just speechless and don't really have much to say. I mean, it's just crazy how far I've came and how far we came as a group. Like, it's just pretty crazy to be on almost on episode 50. But for episode 49, man, I got some bangers. I want to say before we even get into the topics, Happy New Year's to every single body that's watching. Did not get to say it on any of my social medias or anything like that. Maybe Snapchat if you follow me on Snapchat. But other than that, Happy New Year's to every single body out there. I hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's, and I hope you guys had a wonderful time with your families and spent it well. But your boy is feeling real good. I got some New Year's resolutions and stuff on my mind. I'm pretty sure everybody out here has New Year's resolutions as well. But we are on episode 49, so appreciate everybody that's tuning in right now or watching on YouTube or listening or anything like that. But let's go ahead and get into this little podcast episode. So for the first topic we have, man, I really just want to pretty much talk about 2022 and what I have for planned for 2022 and like what's my goals going into it. And I'm pretty sure you guys have your own goals and stuff going into the new year, but there's a lot of stuff that personally that like I want to share with you guys as well. I think one of the big ones that I probably want to accomplish this year is probably like I want to say getting better with my finances and as well as getting better with my fitness, but primarily finances. And then I know there's like a lot of us out there, pretty much myself, I suck with finances. Like I'm terrible with money. They used to call me a hot pockets because I used to just spend my money like all the time. But that's like one thing I want to get better with is like investing in the crypto and banking some more crypto and just being involved with like the whole crypto family, and then as well with getting better with money, like understanding how money works is my big thing about this whole like learning money situations, because a lot of us don't understand how money works. A lot of us is like, we're used to that like day-to-day thing. We get our checks, you know what I'm saying? We put a little bit to the side and then we spend the rest. But most of us don't even put a little bit to the side. A lot of us is like to spend. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, it happens to all of us. But like at some point, it gets to a point where it's like you just keep putting yourself in this bigger hole. Like just putting yourself in this hole to where you can't even get out of. And like, it's probably the most saddest thing to even be in, especially for myself, because I deal with it all the time. I like put myself in these like super big holes and I can't get myself out of it, instead of like understanding that like if I would just took the time to understand, like it took the time to be patient with myself, but always rushing, like I don't know, I guess that's like one big thing I want to do going into the new year as well, because that sucks, man. I'm not trying to be like going later on in life and being like stuck dealing with money issues and like just like having problems with money and stressing about it. And I'm pretty sure everybody else is like that as well. Everybody's like go-to saying of like the new year, new me, new year, new me, but it really should be like new year, new mindset instead, because it could be a new year, new you, but at the same time it's like as long if you don't get this correctly up here, then like you're not gonna be able to like do a lot of things that you want to do. There's a lot of us that have these goals, man, and like I have these big, humongous goals, guys. Like it's pretty much the most craziest thing ever. Like there's a lot of stuff that I want to do that I did not do last year, and like I just know for a fact that like I'm just gonna put my mind to it and get things done, because it's a new year. It's supposed to be a new year, new mindset, man. And then that's the only thing, pretty much, like I really want to do for myself. There's a lot more other things, but those are like personal goals. There's like your big goals, and then there's your personal goals and stuff like that. But like I'm pretty sure a lot of us actually, this is one thing I came to the conclusion about like going into New Year. There's gonna be a lot of people that you always see on a daily basis. Like even if you've seen them last year or the year before. Maybe you might even be like best friends with the person, but like going into the new year, I always want to say, and this is what I tell myself all the time, is like, if you know for a fact that like, I think I made a post about this, or like, I think I might have like said it in like a clip that I made on Instagram, but it was like a clip that I made on Instagram, and like basically the clip was like, um, the people you hang out with is basically truly yourself. But like going into the new year, bro, if you need to understand to be like solo dolo and be alone, and I think it's like the time now. A lot of us right now are dealing with that, and I feel like a lot of us right now are dealing with situations where we have to like kind of like be isolated a little bit, and just like to solid. What's the word I'm looking for? Like give yourself time to be able to go back into the crowd, I guess you can say, like being on lockdown and like putting yourself in the corner, not like a little corner like torturing yourself, but like making yourself understand like you need to get your stuff together. Like this is a new year, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be feeling this way, you're supposed to be doing this way. It goes into the same like topic that I have for the second topic, but like we'll get into that in just a second. But like it's the same thing. It's like if you're gonna end up changing yourself or changing the things that you do, you gotta be very consistent about it and actually want to do it. I've been looking at a lot of stuff lately and like dealing with a lot of things and like just trying to live my day to day life in the right, most prosperous way that I can. And also for you guys who don't know, there's a lot of people who do know, but I'm actually going on a 30-day no alcohol, no drinking, like 30 days, nothing. Like I'm not drinking, I'm not doing that. I think I started yesterday, so I'm doing pretty good. I've been pretty getting peer pressure and stuff like that, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. And I feel like if there's something that like you have been doing or that you've been lagging about, man, you should definitely like give it a break. Or maybe it's like drinking, or maybe it's like you watch too much Netflix, or I don't know, maybe you do this or that. Like just give yourself like some time to just give it some time to be relaxed and give it time to like get away from it, because sometimes we do need that like 30-day cleanse or 25-day cleanse from whatever you know that might be like holding you back or giving you distractions from what it is that you need to get accomplished. And I felt like me and the job that I'm working at right now has a lot to do with, you know, drinking. So I'm like, look, I'm putting it, not drinking anymore, 30 days, get my mind right, feel good, and then we'll come back. But other than that, yeah, that's just like one of my main goals going into the next year, man, is get my finances together. And you should as well, guys out there, women and men, man. Everybody should try their best. Not even try their best. That should be like your main specific goal, like in life, is like now that I understand like the money situation and like being behind on like bills, being behind on certain stuff. Like maybe you might owe somebody money and like they keep begging you for the money. Like it gets like serious deep stuff, man, and like a lot of us don't know how to deal with that, and we get angry about it, and like sometimes we like to show our true selves. But it's supposed to be a new year, man. It's the beginning of the year. It's literally just like, I don't know what today's day is. Today's day is, it is the 5th. So today is the 5th. We're 5 days into the like new month. Give yourself time. Like it takes time. Just give yourself time, bro. I'm giving myself time to understand, like I said, the finances, getting my fitness together, make sure I'm always eating correctly, keep myself organic, and also staying true to my word, and not like I said, I think I said this in a couple podcasts, maybe even it might have been the last podcast that I had, episode that I had, and I was like talking about like lying to yourself and not being real with yourself, basically being fake. Like you gotta be real with yourself before you can be with anybody else. If there's something that you want to do and you're dedicated to it, like live up to it. Don't be all bark. You know, make sure you always bite down on whatever it is that you want to do. And that's basically me, like motivating myself as well as I'm motivating you guys out there. Like this year should be a most dominant year for anybody out there, especially like for the people who had 2021 who dealt with COVID or anything like that, who had a loss in the job or anything like that. Like this year is a domination year for everybody out there. Like it's a time to go and it's time to get on the ball and handle your BS. You know, I'm not gonna cuss too much, but handle your BS out there, man. And it's pretty a while to even think about like some of the situations that a lot of us go through, and that's why I was basically saying like just give it time, man. We're 5 days into the month. 5 days into the new year. I mean, and like it's just gonna take time. It's gonna take time for you to, you know what I'm saying, get it right. Like just like how you getting into the gym and you working out, like you're gonna be sore, but give it like a couple of weeks, then you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna be as sore as you were when you first started. Things are gonna be tough, but you know what I'm saying, as long as you fight through and get things done that you want to this year, and make sure you actually get it done this year, and everything's gonna be okay. Like there's something else that I want to do that I've never done before, which was create myself a vision board. There's a lot of people have been talking to me now, and they're like, "Hey, you know, create a vision board." I'm like, "Well, what is a vision board?" And so, you know, what I'm saying, a lot of people told me what it is, and I'm actually very considerate about it to make my own vision board. So I think that's something that everybody should be doing as well. So I mean, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook right now, man, if there's or anything like that, if you're listening, if you can leave a comment in the bottom and just basically like tell me what you want to share to me or want to share to anybody else who listens to me and the Alpha Talk gang out there. Like if there's something that like you want to accomplish this year, you know what I'm saying, leave it down in the description, leave it down in the box below, and let me know if you're watching on live. And I know who's watching on live, so whoever's watching on live, you just let me know. If not, it's okay. It is what it is, as long as you get it done and make sure you accomplish your goals, man. That's it. And that's pretty much sums up my goals and what I want to do in 2022. So pretty much like I was saying in the topic of like how you like process your thought things, how you process your thoughts, man, is like the same way as how you're being viewed. And like how do you like when you wake up or when you're outside chilling, or maybe you might be at work or something like that, and like you just could be chilling, like maybe you think to yourself like, how do you think people view you, or how do you think people like feel about you, or how do you feel about yourself, or how do you feel yourself being viewed to others, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us don't think about this, because if you really like want to put things in perspective, for anybody out there, man, we've all been in that one moment where we are may have been under the influence of drinking. We could have been hanging out somewhere that was very awkward, or we could have just been somewhere that just wasn't really like normal. You know, how should I say? So we're there, and you know what I'm saying, you just see some people just act completely out, and like, you know, and everybody that's watching this person act out is thinking around like, dang, like that person must be crazy, or like that's what's happening to him. Like everything has to be, it's how you're being viewed. Like how your parents used to tell you how you're going to your interview and you have to dress to impress. So that's because that's how you need to be viewed. You need to be viewed like you want to work here, like you're a businessman. You know what I'm saying? I come here to get a job, and I come here to do it correctly. So it's the same way in your day-to-day life. Like, how do you want to be viewed? A lot of us, we wake up and we look in that mirror and we're like, dang, you know, like I'm a little bit overweight, or I'm a little bit not feeling too well with my body or how I look. Well, that means that you want to be viewed a different way. The way you view yourself is not the way you want to be viewed. Because if you look at yourself in that mirror and you basically are telling yourself like, oh no, I don't, this doesn't look correctly, or oh no, like this is weird, then yes, like that's how you know. Think about it, that's how other people view you. You might not think about it, but that's how other people exactly view you. And it sucks to say that, but like I said, this is time for improvement. It's time to get the way you want to be viewed correct. Like if there's something you want to do like to be viewed better, like read more books, dress better, fix your pronunciation. Like myself, I'm over here messing up my words, like, you know what I mean? So it's how you feel. I mean, how you want to be viewed. It's the same way as how do you think you feel about others. Like if you're out there acting a fool, or if you're out there acting the ass, you know, then like other people are gonna view you in a very weird way. So like the next time you see them, I'm more than likely it's gonna be awkward. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care about that, but at the end of the day, you should care about yourself and how you're being viewed from others. Like it's not that hard to understand. Like you don't want to be out there looking like a fool, because a lot of people live up to their name, and a lot of people like live up to their last names. Like, and like if you have like friends or anybody else that you're hanging out with, like it goes for the same thing. Like you just don't want to be that embarrassing person. You don't want to be that person who is just stand up, I'm cool, like I handle my own thing, I get things done, and that's it, I'm out. Like you don't want to be like that guy who is wishy-washy, or someone who wants to do something and not like handle his business. Like a lot of us deal with it, and a lot of us actually have our days, but sooner or later, we gotta tighten up and actually handle ourselves and be the person that we need to be to handle this, to any situation that comes at us, man. And going into this year, man, that's something that I want to accomplish, and everybody else should be wanting to accomplish. Like, how you be viewed and how you feel to be viewed by others is very important, man. It's something that I feel like somebody and everybody should take 100% serious, because it's just like, man, like how you want to work on your fitness and how you want to like do all that. Like, in order for you to do that, you have to actually put in the time and work in the gym. You got to actually read some books and study some stuff and understand that, like, this is what I got to do to be better. Because when the time comes with somebody viewing you, or maybe you come to the point to where like you're with a group or people and you got to like view yourself and like evaluate yourself, and it's just like, yeah, this isn't like what I want for my life. This isn't what I want from right now. This is what I want this month. This isn't what I want for this week. You know what I mean? So a lot of us deal with that, and a lot of us like don't deal with that. But for the people who do deal with it, I 100% understand, and I know what it feels like to even get there. But step by step, the more steps you take to even get there, it's gonna be the most craziest thing ever. So I mean, I 100% think that everybody should take that point serious. If it's something you want to improve with, then you should do it. If there's something that like bothers you or anything like that, man, you should definitely do it. And let's see what Miss Leslie said. She says, my 2022 goals are to read more, live healthier, and become more disciplined. So I feel that 100%. That's like one of my goals as well, man, is to like handle my shit and get it done correctly. A lot of us don't do that as well. Like, a lot of us like to talk that talk. Like, I have moments where I just want to like sit there and like talk my talk and be like, oh, like I'm that big Mojo Jojo guy. But like, once you actually like come down and actually be a little bit more humble, you start pointing out the people who trying to be like, I'm humble, like the jumbo guy or whatever like that. Like, I'm the big guy. But like, other than that, like, once you become humble and you like be comfortable with yourself and like actually handling your shit and being disciplined, and like all those other fake people around you eventually just like fall off, because like, I don't have time to hear this shit anymore. I'm more focused on higher and better things. Like, it's more important than what I'm like what you're trying to tell me. So I understand that, and I feel that, Miss Leslie. So I also want to welcome my boy Silas. I seen him join up in the live, so I appreciate you, boy, for tuning in to the Alpha Talk podcast. As of right now, man, I'm just basically discussing how it feels to be viewed and like how it feels to be viewed by others. Like, for an example, like I gave you an example earlier, like for a lot of people that we see day to day at my job, like it's completely embarrassing. Like, you don't want to like be that person who comes out there and it's like you acting a fool. Like, you look bad to yourself, bro. You look bad like in person. You just look bad. Like the way like you carry yourself, the way you like dress, all that shit matters, bro. Every day you wake up and you look in that mirror, bro, and you're like, oh man, I got a little bit more fat on me, or oh man, like maybe I need to like fix my hair or something. Like, all that stuff matters on how your mood's gonna be. I always feel like your morning is how you're gonna, like, if you don't have the right mindset in the morning, then you're probably more likely gonna have a shitty day. Like, it depends on what happens in your day. If you're just gonna be bummy and be lazy, then that isn't gonna like make you feel better and confident about yourself every time you look in the mirror. And it's the same way as like when you go out with people, or like when you go to the job interview, or you go to the job and you represent that company or you represent that business. You know what I mean? You don't want to like be out there looking like a plumb fool, because at the end of the day, like, that's gonna come back on you. And like, and I feel like a lot of what I've seen from last year, and what a lot of people probably dealt with going into like last year, is like not people carrying themselves and being the person that they need to be, either a man or a woman. Like, and going into this year, bro, I feel like everybody needs to like sit there and look at reality in a bigger picture than what it is, because it's not a small picture, it's a big picture. And understand that like, either I gotta get some shit done, or else I'm just gonna sit back in the crowd and just bullshit and not do anything at all. So I take that shit very, very, very serious, and a lot of people understand that like I take that serious. But like, it's the same way, like a lot of people live by their last names. Like I said, a lot of people live by their father, or some people that's in the military that live by that. So how do you think they hold their standard with themselves? Like, how they be viewed with themselves? They want themselves to be viewed as a higher standard, because they're living for something that's bigger than just making myself be embarrassed all the time. So it's some way like you gotta put yourself on that pedestal. Like you have to put yourself up there sometimes. Like you might be bad and bougie about it, but you gotta put yourself up there, and it is what it is at the end of the day. And people are gonna talk shit about it, then let them talk shit about it. You're just putting yourself at a higher standard than what they are. You just want to be better than somebody else. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, don't take that too serious. Don't even like try to like put it in. Don't even try to be an overthinker about it and overthink your feelings about it. But like other than that, like that's all you gotta do, bro. It's just like view yourself as a beast. Like view yourself as imagining I have 6 packs or something like that. I don't know, like whatever like makes you guys like view yourself. It's the same way as like what you eat. Like I actually got put onto like the most dopest dish ever. Like it might be basic, but it's eggs and rice. Like eggs and rice is probably the most goodest thing I've ever had in my life. Like it's probably the most fantastic thing ever. So it's pretty amazing. So like I mean by like how you view yourself. If you want yourself to be up here, then you're gonna have to start like doing the things that need you to be up here. If that is like eating correctly, working out, reading more books, or whatever it is that you have to do. Because eventually in life, it gets to a point to where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you give up. So, hey, I don't know what to tell you guys, but if you keep viewing yourself in a negative way, then you're not gonna prosper and be something that you would like to be. Because thinking negatively does not get you where you want to go. And shout out to Silas, man. The eggs and rice gang is in here. Hey, I need some more sriracha barbecue sauce, by the way. So, I mean, not sriracha barbecue sauce. I mean, Japanese barbecue sauce. I need some more of that. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and hop into the last topic of this episode. I want this episode to be very like informational and like deep hearted because it is us going into the new year. And it's only 5 days into the year, so you gotta give yourself time. A lot of us are dealing with a lot of stuff right now, and a lot of us are dealing with BS that just happens in a day-to-day life. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Just as long as you know, like, you are who you are, and you are going to handle your stuff and be the best that you can be every single day that you wake up, that's more important than stressing yourself out over something that you cannot control. And that's something that bothers me a lot. It's something that I stress about, something that I can't have control over. But for like the last topic that I have for you wonderful folks out there is the behaviors I wish to cultivate going into 2022. Now, I've already told y'all one behavior that I wish to cultivate, and that is relaxing on basically drinking alcohol. And yeah, basically the behaviors that I have is like pretty small things. They're not like insanely crazy things, anything like that. Like I don't have anything like that like I'm addicted to or anything like that. But like I will say like one thing that I want to like slow down on, that I have a big favor of, that I want to do better with, is like drinking alcohol, smoking on those Escobar vapes. If anybody out there know what Escobar vapes are, man, is like putting those down. And like also one of the behaviors that I want to do is like being better with like managing my time and stop stressing over time so much. Because like let's say I have my podcast at 7 o'clock, like it was like 5:42 and I was stressing about going to the store that's literally like 10 steps away because I wasn't going to make it back in time. But like if you know how to manage your time correctly, then it won't be a big deal. And that's like super big. Like I wish I can like fix that so bad. Like I stress about time so much, it's completely insane. Like I be stressing hard super hard. Like if there's something that you guys, behavior that you wish to cultivate, like going into this year, like I said, we're 5 days into the like year. You still got time. Don't wait to the last minute until it's like too late to like do all these things that I've been talking about since we started the podcast for today. Like it is what it is at the end of the day. Like if you mess up one day, just do better the next day. And like if you mess up that day, you just keep going and going and going. And then I don't know what it is, man. Then like I feel that. And my boy Silas said the two things that he wants to do better going into this year is discipline and freedom. So I feel that. That's 100%. Especially discipline. Like discipline's like super hard, man. That's like one thing a lot of us don't know how to like do better with, is like discipline ourselves. Like if there's something that we know that we shouldn't be doing, somehow we end up still doing it. Or if there's something we know we shouldn't buy, we end up still buying it. So it's like super hard. Like being I think David Goggins is probably one of the most disciplined people I've ever seen. Like anywhere on the planet at the moment. So it's like, if you can have his type of discipline, that's completely insane. So I 100% agree with you, Mr. Silas. So yeah, and then one of the like last behaviors that I really have is like being lazy. Being lazy is like one of the like, man, one of the like killers for me is like knowing that I need to like do something and do it like at this certain time, but like doing everything like last minute, man, that shit's caught up to me so bad. It's like insane. So that's like one thing I would love to do, like going into like the rest of the years, like not being lazy and actually like getting up early or just getting up like and doing what you got to do instead of like waiting for the last minute to do things. Like I'm super terrible about that thing, man. And it's super terrible. Like that thing is, I hate it, bro. It's the most embarrassing thing ever. Like I don't like it at all, man. But that's pretty much what all I have to say for today's episode, guys. It wasn't gonna be a long one. I didn't want to make this one a long one. I just wanted to be very more talkative because, like I said, I didn't get to talk to you guys on the New Year's. So happy New Year's to everybody. It might be late, but who well, oh well. At least we're 5 days into the year. It doesn't matter, but happy New Year's to everybody. I appreciate everybody that tuned in on the Facebook Live. Shout out to Leslie. Shout out to Silas. The Eggs and Rice game. I need some more Japanese barbecue sauce, please, sir. I will send the money. Whatever you need, you let me know. I will get it to you. But shout out to everybody. I appreciate everybody that tuned into the Alpha Talk podcast. We are on episode 49. Episode 50 will be tomorrow. Also, there's a big shout out that I want to tell you guys. Whoever's listening or watching on YouTube or anything like that, I have started a YouTube channel and I recorded my intro video today. So be on the lookout for that, man. It's going to be extremely dope and I cannot wait to show you guys. And then after that, I'll be dropping a video every single week, including with my podcast. So thank you, everybody. Make sure you go subscribe to your boy on YouTube. The link will be in this video. So I'll see you guys next week at 7 o'clock on Monday. And not today. I was having technical difficulties because I got the new camera and Facebook was tripping. So see you guys next week. It's your boy Onte and I'm out.